What is up, Loudmouth Sports Group, Loudmouth Sports Talk? It is Sean and Luch coming at you live with Loudmouth Off the Top Rope. So much to discuss this week. Great matches this week. And first and foremost, before anything, please go to bombshellbowling.com /Loudmouth Sports Talk. Get your t-shirts today. The tees, the actual muscle tees, white tees, will be done coming this Tuesday. This Tuesday is the last day to get them, folks. $20. Get them while they're hot. We're going to be coming out with some other great products as well. Just make sure you go to bombshellbowling.com /Loudmouth Sports Talk. Miss Michelle, she's awesome. She's taking care of us every step away. She's going to be coming on a show here shortly within the next few days here. So look out for that as well. The biggest thing right now in wrestling news today, folks, Kamala. The passing of Kamala has came about in the WWE world. At this time, we are going to give a 10-second bell tone to the late, great Kamala, great champion, great ambassador for the WWE. So at this time, folks, please bow your head in silence for 10 seconds for Kamala. Yes, folks, that was the great Kamala, folks. Great ambassador to the WWE, WWF promotion. Was in plenty of other promotions. Had some great matches with The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. The list goes on and on. Ultimate Warrior, Ricky Dragon Steamboat. I can name a ton of great matches he has had in the WWE. First and foremost, man, let's get right into it. I put out a big post out that caught a lot of heat, caught a lot of attention on me, as I stated that Randy Orton is top 3 GOAT in wrestling, and changed my mind. Luciano, Courtney Brown, there's a ton of you guys out there that think different. But Luch, I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna let you start this debate off. Change my mind why Randy Orton is not top 3 GOAT in wrestling.
Top 3 GOAT in wrestling in general. This is like, you're talking about everything. Like, you're talking about GOATs of all time, or are you talking his generation?
We're talking. I probably will put it. I'll probably put in his generation. He is the top 3 GOAT. Change my mind.
Top 3 GOAT from his generation. Well, I mean, from his generation, we have athletes. His generation was one of the best, yes, in my opinion. I've seen.
Absolutely.
I mean, we had Eddie Guerrero. We had legends. I just personally, I think a GOAT is a personal thing. Like, everyone's top 5. That's like, it's a personal thing. You think Randy is top 3. Randy is very skilled. Randy is very talented.
Yes.
One thing that Randy does to me that kind of pushes him away from me is that is that, like, his promo work now is okay. Before was boring as hell. I like Randy as a competitor. You put him in ring, he is good to watch. He knows what he's doing. He's safe. You put a mic in his hand, unless he's the legend killer, I don't want to hear him. I'm sorry. It's like a Triple H. He learned from Triple H. He took that from Triple H. He drags his promos. He does that. I'm just saying, I just don't see him being top 3, even generation. Maybe top 10. He's in the top 10, but top 3. That's crazy, dude.
Here's the thing.
Randy top. Why
here's
is
the thing? Okay,
who's your top 3? Is my question. Who
top
do you put
3?
before
Number
Randy?
1 would be John Cena would be number 1 in my opinion as a GOAT in today's generation because he came from that generation. And number 2 probably would be Eddie Guerrero. So I would probably put it as John Cena, Eddie Guerrero, Randy Orton. And
Randy
that's
Orton.
even
John Cena, Eddie Guerrero, Randy
Orton.
Kurt Angle.
It's probably like 4.
Kurt Angle. Edge.
5.
Dude, Edge. I mean, like, yeah, he can't beat Randy in like wrestling, but
promos he can't beat Randy.
Charisma.
Listen, charisma. Listen, and people think I'm crazy when I say this, but
you are.
Randy has a ton of charisma, whether you know it or not. He does. Charisma, yeah, is charisma in your actions, in your words, mostly in your words and how you play off of things. But Randy's like mindset of how he does things in the ring, his mindset of how he handles segments. It's charisma. I don't think it's just all talking and I think it's a lot of acting. Facial expressions are big with him. Like Randy can go into a ring, stare you down, stare a camera down for a good solid minute and a half, and he told a story. Hands down. Not a lot of guys can do that. If you watch this last Monday, you watched Monday night, his charisma was on point. I mean, on point. From the time he talked to Ric Flair on the mic to the time he threw the microphone, gave him a hug, when he was up that ramp and he didn't say anything, and all Drew kept saying was, "You evil son of a bitch," which he said twice or 3 times, which I thought was like stupid. He should have said something twice. But did you see the facial expressions that he was giving? The looks, that evil look, the sinister. That's charisma. Not a lot of guys can do that. Edge can't do that.
Okay.
Angle
that is
can't
true.
Do that. Angle can't do that.
There's not a lot. Angle is good with his faces,
but he didn't get good with his faces until Angle got good with his faces after he left WWE and went to TNA. That's when he got good with his facial expressions.
Randy,
and he came back. Randy's always been good at his facial expressions from the moment he started till the moment now. He's always been good with facial expressions.
Always.
The smirk,
I would
smile.
Maybe after his first suspension, maybe then he got really good with it. But until then, it was a normal face to me. Like after his first suspension, that's when he, I think, took it by the balls and went off. That's my opinion. I just don't see him. I didn't see him from the time he got in. He was a great athlete.
Oh, absolutely. He has the best He has the best drop kick in wrestling. There's no one better. Dolph has it, but man, Randy with that standing.
No, yeah, his standing.
Oh my God,
it's
amazing for his size. His size of what, 6'3", 6'4", 265, 275,
something like that.
To come up like that, I mean, we're talking cheerleader athletics right there. So, I mean, but like I said, his charisma, he like, it's like comes out of his skin with charisma. You know what I mean? Like he bleeds that.
I agree with that. I agree he has charisma. I'm just saying that his charisma is, you can say he's top 3 heels of his generation, and I would 1000% agree with you.
If I was saying heel, if I was
two.
saying heel, he was probably number 1 because I mean, who would you say?
Eddie's number 1. Eddie will always, if you're talking Eddie Guerrero's generation, he's number 1 heel. Even though people liked him as heel, and he was number 1. But Randy, if you're talking heel, yes, he might even be number 2 of his generation, maybe. All time, though, I mean, we're looking at his generation. We're looking at some of the best athletes and some of the best entertainers we've seen till this day. So,
right, but here's the thing between him and all those others. He's still here. Granted, Eddie is an unfortunate situation, and I'll never hold that against Eddie. Everybody else prior to him, around him, are gone. Gone.
Okay. Injuries.
He's still there.
1 was injuries. 2, Cena doesn't need to be there. I think Cena made his mark. He doesn't need to be there no more. Maybe for like 1 good more match, and that was it. 1 more good match, that's it.
Yeah, and if you're going to give me a good match, then it better be with Randy Orton. He's got to come back and Cena. If you want to see a great match with Randy,
you have to bring back Kurt. I wanted to see John versus Kurt when Kurt was going to retire, and he should have got Cena.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put Cena out, you might as well let him retire the way he came in with Kurt. I would like to see that.
Yeah, but do you realize how great of a rivalry Cena and Orton had?
Oh yeah, back in the day,
that was almost a 10-year history rivalry. I mean, if we're really talking, because when they came in together, they came in what 04, 05 class, and that class from those 10 years stretch. I mean, between Orton, because they all came up together in OVW. So between Orton and Batista and Edge, Cena's had 3 great storylines, and that's between Edge, Batista, Orton. Orton was probably the best storyline that he carried because of the personal issue.
Maybe because of that.
It was because of that. But I mean, he had a great run with Batista, and then he had a great run with Edge, and I thought Edge was like spot on. But Orton makes you in that ring. Okay, he makes you. I mean, there's certain guys that you go, okay, you got through him, so you earn respect. But when you get to Orton's level, and Orton puts you over, or if he doesn't put you over, he still puts you over by beating you. That's your mark.
Sorry.
Guys want to go against Orton.
That's his mark. He's not Undertaker. It's not like him saying, I want him in a match is like a outrageous thing. It's Randy Orton. Like if Randy goes to Vince and goes, I want Drew at WrestleMania, right? Instead of SummerSlam, let's say he said WrestleMania.
They're gonna give him Drew.
They'll build a storyline around it. Yes, they will give it to him, but at the same time, he's not at the caliber. Maybe he's at the caliber, but he's not at that level. Of Taker to be like, holy. What do you mean? He's not at at Taker's level to where you could be like, holy shit, he wants a match with me. Yeah, people might be excited, like, holy shit, I'm fighting Randy Orton at WrestleMania, but they're not going to be like, holy shit, he asked for me. Holy shit. It's not like a big
Taker's gone
deal.
now. But Taker's gone now. So yeah, it's going to be a big deal if Orton asks you to fight him at Mania.
Maybe now because the man is gone.
The man is gone.
Who else do you have left? This is the problem is everybody else has made their mark so big that they could have left by now. They left. Cena left. He don't need this no more. He don't. Does Randy need this? No. In a paycheck wise, he's probably good.
He's good in a
But-
paycheck wise.
Okay,
His
but
legacy
I
is cemented. You realize that, right?
okay, he's the youngest champion. But
No, I'm just
I
talking
think
in
he
general.
but I think he wants something big. He's not okay with what he has. And he's not, I'm sorry, he's not going to pass Rick or even Cena. He's not even going to come close.
You don't think Triple H is going to let that happen?
He would have to get 18 title runs, brother.
That's not hard to get.
18
He got 4 left. He's going to have 4 left.
How many? He's definitely not winning at SummerSlam. Definitely not winning.
He'll get the title probably not SummerSlam, the next pay-per-view. Or he'll get it at Mania.
The payback's the next Sunday.
Well, I'm thinking maybe then he'll probably get it at Mania.
You're gonna drag this to Mania?
Why not? I mean, it's
because I don't want to see it.
It's a great storyline. You're telling me it's not a good storyline?
He's the legend killer. Drew ain't no legend. He's the legend killer, and you have him.
You have him.
Normal people.
You have him. You actually have him beat up legends to the point Drew is actually defending these legends.
That's fine, but if you're going to bring this out to Mania, that's what you're just going to keep beating legends. If you're going to do anything, when you brought Rick into it, you could have brought Triple H into it. That's what they need. They need to bring Triple H into it.
And I think Triple H is going to get involved somewhere along the line.
I don't want to see Randy versus Drew 3 or 4 times because that's not a legend killer. You might as well just go back to being Randy Orton and just RKOing out of nowhere, and then that's it. Because that's where you're at right now.
And listen, what is wrong? Here's my thing. What is wrong with putting a title on him at SummerSlam? You tell me what's wrong with that.
Where do you go from here? If he is the legend killer, where do you go from here? You can't say I'm the legend killer and you're versing normal men day in and day out. To me, that's not okay. When he was the legend killer before, it was good because there was a whole shit ton of people that were legends at the time.
Yeah, now, but here's the problem.
Legends, like Edge.
Hello, you can't bring legends back. Half of them, if you try to bring legends back, they're too old and it's coronavirus. Have we forgotten that part? So we can't do obviously he still calls himself the legend killer, but I think he's still just Randy Orton. Not Randy Orton legend killer bang per se. He took out the Big Show. He took out Ric Flair. He took out Christian. He took out Edge.
Ric Flair. When he took out Flair, what should have happened was
Triple H rushed the ring.
When he was walking backwards, Triple H should have came down. They should have bumped into each other, and then it changed something, a little wording. He runs down, checks on. Drew's fine. You have to have Drew come down if he's facing him next Sunday.
Right.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
But you have to, I think that would have been the perfect time to set the next line for him. Because you tell me Randy Orton, the legend killer, I would like to see him versus the person who brought him in, took him under his wing, and
We've seen that. We've seen that in Dubai.
Okay, we've seen that in Dubai.
And he beat him in Dubai. He beat him in that one.
Not okay, but like we're taking. I'm sorry, and I don't want to offend anybody when I say this. That pay-per-view is a joke.
But it brings money.
Are jokes.
But it brings money. It brings money.
I get that. I know, but it's a joke because I believe that was the pay-per-view. It's not the same one, but believe that was the one where they had Brothers of Destruction versus DX.
Yeah.
Every time they put one of them on, okay, they're big names on the card, but that's nothing. That doesn't bring me in. Like I need to want to like. There needs to be a story behind it. But you bring Triple H down, and that can set up Mania. That can set up Mania, and it can be a career versus career. Whoever loses, gotta go. And Triple H has already, I believe, said it. Yeah, because I believe Triple H has said it that he doesn't really want too much more in ring. He's done with that. He wants to be where he's at, running NXT and eventually running the company.
Right.
So,
but mind you,
let him,
say,
legend killer, take you out.
Yeah. But he did say at one of his interviews, because Triple H is like 51 years old, I think. He did say that at 65, he doesn't see him going past 65 running the company. So, you only got like 14 years left of him probably running WWE. I mean, you're looking probably at Stephanie, Shane, whatever. But
Shane's around his age, a little younger.
A little younger, but I think Shane would actually be like his father and stay until he dies. But
Vince is gonna croak in his chair.
Yeah, he is. Here's what like I said, with Randy Orton, getting back to the GOAT subject, I believe he is the GOAT. I truly do. I truly believe he is the top 3 GOAT. It's hard to change my mind on that because there's so many guys that were in his generation that are gone. They didn't really make their mark. Edge didn't really make a mark. He retired early. He didn't really like set the stamp down of this is my legacy.
No, maybe as like he never took the championship and said and like made like a huge crazy thing. But Edge has made big moves. Edge TLC, tag team TLC. Right, TLC is because of Edge. So,
but I'm talking about his character persona has not made that mark like Cena.
Yeah,
when you talk WWE, you go, okay, John Cena, Randy Orton. You don't really go Edge. Like it's not there. Christian didn't make his mark in WWE.
Okay, Christian, I can see that. But when people mention wrestlers, I seriously say that. He didn't meet expectations. Can't call Orton the GOAT. Yes, thank you, Courtney. You can't call Orton the GOAT because he didn't meet expectations.
He didn't fail, though. How many championships did he have? He didn't fail?
No, he didn't. Okay, he might have not failed, but what he's saying, I think what Courtney's trying to say is that when it came to being the man, the face, that's where he didn't hold it.
But he doesn't want to. I don't think he wants to be the face. He doesn't want to be the face of WWE.
But at one time, they needed him to be, and he didn't hold it.
Because you realize how young he was when they wanted him to be? He was 24. Who at 24 was going to hold?
He was right around the same age. He could have been awesome after Evolution. Courtney, I think he made his mark.
His titties, his titles came. His titles. His titles came because of Triple H. That I will call bullshit.
The beginning because of him. Yes. The beginning, I can agree.
The first title run, Triple H wanted that on his shoulders. And then Triple H realized I put too much on you and took it away.
Yeah.
But at 24 years old, but at 24 years old, though, that's a lot on your shoulders. A lot.
Cena was right around the same age,
Cena didn't get his. But Cena didn't get his title. Cena didn't really get his title until he's like 29, 30. His first title. His first WWE champion.
The US championship.
That's the US. That's the US.
He didn't have no big title.
Exactly.
But see what happens when you put the title on before. This is what happens when you put the title on a young buck. He messes it up. He can't do it.
Cena carries the brand.
He carries the brand, definitely. Hands down. You can't argue with that one.
No, he carries the brand.
Speaking, but I hate to cut you off, brother, but I have to say that. Speaking of John Cena, I logged on the Twitter the other day and he followed me back and I marked out like crazy. I took a screenshot immediately and sent it to Sean and was like, bro, look at this. This is crazy. That was Cena is the GOAT. Yes, hands down. John Cena is the GOAT.
Like I just said, I even said that. Cena is number one in his generation.
Yes, hands down. You can't
if you go full WWE, it's Ric Flair. So
you said if we're gonna do the whole WWE,
you're gonna go from all generations. You got to say Ric Flair. If you're gonna tell me Ric Flair is not number one, is not the GOAT, then you're smoking something, man.
I mean, it's hard because Rick or Bruno, because them two carried the company at a time. Both. Cena is still the he says. I don't know about
listen, you only know that era. You don't understand. And I will gladly have
Stone Cold.
Followed by Stone Cold.
Okay, I mean, Cena was the GOAT of his gen. Oh, yes, 1,000%. Now, I don't know. Every gen got a GOAT. Stone Cold was the GOAT of his. Ric Flair was the GOAT of his, and Bruno was the GOAT of his.
Yeah.
But you can't argue that when it comes down to it, talent, Randy wins over Cena, hands down. But when it comes to the company, there's no. To be honest, I think when it comes to being the man of the company, no one can overdo Cena. From what he did in the company.
No.
For what he did for the company?
No, I'm saying no, you're right. There's no one that can overcome Cena. I mean,
nobody. He made a rap album with double platinum.
Yeah, here's the problem that I have with WWE, because there are guys that did as much or not as more as Cena. And WWE never really focused on them as much as they did Cena. I mean, you look at CM Punk. CM Punk did as much Make-A-Wishes as Cena. It just never got publicized.
He was the heel.
Randy Orton. Yeah, Randy Orton did the same thing. So did Daniel Bryan, Kane, Undertaker.
Daniel Bryan, they promoted that because he was the face at the time.
Face at the time. But then you had all those guys did Make-A-Wish alone. And listen,
Make-A-Wish alone can't be compared, and WWE gets the credit. Very true.
Yeah, very true.
That's true.
The problem I see is that WWE so focused on Cena and the Make-A-Wish Foundation that other wrestlers were doing it too. And I mean, if you look out there, you want to talk about a guy who carries the brand as well, but is not as high as Cena, and that's The Miz.
Yes. Okay.
The Miz is an unbelievable ambassador for WWE.
If we're talking, but Cena is still doing it. Yes, Cena is still doing Make-A-Wishes. But what you need to understand, Sean, is when it comes to Make-A-Wishes, and I can speak personally because I was a Make-A-Wish for Cena. He did the most Make-A-Wishes out of anybody ever. Like how many kids come and want to meet Cena is ridiculous. Like, and Make-A-Wish has even gave him like a certificate that says like you are the most asked about celebrity. So yeah, I mean, they don't show as much as The Miz, but you know why? It's because of the whole face and heel thing. You can't show a heel possibly being nice to a child. You know, I mean, like because of the whole stigma around the
the kayfabe,
But see, now that's dead though. You know, kayfabe's kind of dead. So now we do get to see more of that. We get to see Sasha and Bayley doing Make-A-Wishes, even though they're heels, and laughing. And sometimes you even get to see them crying with Make-A-Wishes.
Court dog.
Hey, listen, guys. So the show's going great so far. But let me educate y'all on something real quick.
You're gonna
John
educate me.
Cena.
You're gonna educate me in wrestling.
Us.
Okay, that's
I'm gonna educate you. I'm gonna give you a life lesson, not
okay.
even
Sure.
WWE, because obviously you know WWE. That's not my lane. Come see me on football. You can't beat me. So I ain't
Yeah.
gonna
No,
disrespect
I
you and say I'm gonna
can't.
school you. I'm gonna school you on WWE. But listen, for those who don't care about WWE as much as you, like me, right? I watch it. John Cena evolutionized WWE single-handedly. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he had an impact on the game that nobody will ever be able to compare. Yeah, Ric Flair was great. Yeah, like Bruno was great. Andre the Giant, Undertaker, all these dudes are icons. But John Cena literally helped WWE go from wrestling to sports entertainment alone. And you know how you know that? Watch the Attitude Era on the Netflix, on the WWE network. And when John Cena said, I can't be promoting the FU, that's when he changed the FU name. That's when he changed his whole brand once he became the WWE champion. Well, the world title champion, and he changed the game for everybody. So like I feel like his talent alone is just like obviously there's wrestlers you can name tons of wrestlers greater than him. But just like with the greatest, you can name tons of quarterbacks better than Tom Brady, who throw better, who are stronger. But that's not what matters. What matters is at the end of the day, who can you rely on year in and year out? Which is why when you say Randy Orton is top 3 GOAT, absolutely. Because for 18 years, he's been that brand.
Yeah.
But John Cena, what he still does for the brand, he still is attached to it. The Rock kind of became on his own. I don't put The Rock up there only for the simple fact that. Hold
I'll
on,
say this.
but hold
I'll
on.
say this: is you're saying Randy Orton created is the reason sports entertainment? No, the reason of sports entertainment is because of The Rock. The Rock brought
No, I get
sports
you.
entertainment.
But listen, no, he
Mhm.
brought it. But even still, if you look at the beginning of the edit, of Ruthless Aggression, you seen John Cena said it. He said, I had to change what we were doing and what we were promoting because we kept getting younger and younger. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm talking about. Obviously, The Rock brought it, but then The Rock left. Somebody had to fill that gap. Randy Orton, what could have been the GOAT if he would have became the champion, but even when they talked about it there, he was not ready. He was immature, and
right,
Triple H got tired of his bullshit. And had
right.
John Cena not been on a rap battle in the back of the bus, he wouldn't have been there. And that's just so crazy. And that's why John Cena is the GOAT. I don't give a damn what order you put him in. I don't give a damn what, like, that dude is unprecedented. Like, put some respect on my man's name. And back what I was saying about The Rock, you don't put The Rock on there only because The Rock is not known for WWE any longer.
No,
He is now the #1 movie star in the
yeah,
world. Like his numbers,
absolutely.
like Jumanji, Moana, like those Fast and the Furious, those numbers alone takes him away from WWE. Where like you look at The Rock and you're like, oh yeah, like if you tell people now and you're like, oh, The Rock, did you know he did WWE? That's the conversations you got to have now. Compared to before, he was the guy. You know what I mean? Like now you
Right,
look at The Rock and kids only know him from Moana or Jumanji or Fast and the Furious.
right.
So that's why I
Mhm.
wouldn't put him in the GOAT category. But
It,
hold
it,
on.
yeah. The only GOAT, like he said, John Cena is the GOAT. John Cena, I even said it. John Cena is #1. Eddie Guerrero #2. Randy Orton #3. You know, Kurt, Edge, all those guys fall into place underneath. I mean, because you think Kurt Angle had his issues too.
Everybody has, to be honest,
Everybody
lot of
everybody had their issues
besides Cena.
except Cena. Cena's the only one that was able to stay away from all the negative, the pills, the drinking, the smoking, the drugs, all that. He was able to stay away from all that. Now,
From what we know.
from what we know,
Because when you're Vince's top dog, you could get away with murder.
yes, you can literally
And
get away with murder. So like I said, Orton top 3 GOAT. He's behind
Orton
Cena
is your
and Eddie.
top 3.
Yes. Who's your top
All
3?
right, well, my top 3. Oh, man. We're gonna go. Are we gonna do my top 3 of that gen?
Of that gen, of
Okay.
Orton's gen, who's your top
We're
3?
doing Cena, Eddie. I mean, see,
Uh-huh. You have to say Orton. You have to. You don't
But-
have to, but there's no one else.
I mean, there was from the Ruthless Aggression. There was a lot of people that came and went.
Yep.
To that kind of made an impact, but kind of didn't. I mean, me personally, I would put Kurt. No, because not really, because you can't really consider Kurt Ruthless Aggression.
No.
He would technically be Attitude.
Yep.
So we're looking at Ray. We're looking at Edge. Christian. So
Hey,
maybe
I'm
okay.
Hey, he's back.
What's up?
So I'm gonna go John Cena, Eddie Guerrero.
His top 3. His top 3.
And I will have to say Rey Mysterio.
Oh my God!
Oh, you're
Come
trash.
on!
I mean,
Oh,
and
here we
him,
go.
Rey
All
Mysterio.
right, so here you go. I'm gonna give
Listen.
you the real. I'm gonna give you the real, raw, uncut. I'll give you a top 5 because I really love you guys. Number 1,
All right,
the
come
greatest of all time, John Cena, no debate. Number
Yeah,
2, number 2, The Undertaker. Number 3, Randy Orton. And when I'm talking about GOATs, let me give some context. I'm not just talking about what you can do in ring. I'm talking about overall. And that's where y'all make the mistake. You need to have, if you want to have a GOAT discussion of strictly wrestling, it's impossible for you to put Chris Benoit, even though Chris Benoit, what he did, it's impossible to leave him out. It's impossible to leave Edge out, right? But we're talking about overall. They sucked at cutting promos and didn't really have it. So let's be honest. So John Cena's number 1, Undertaker's number 2, number 3 is Randy Orton. Number 4, I got to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin because I just love that dude to death. And he was the best heel babyface mixture of a drink. He's like Hennessy and Hypnotic. He's the best, worst drink you'll ever have in your life. And then number 5, Ric Flair. And that's just being honest. I think that 5, you have to put it. And I think Ric Flair is number 5 for me because he's kind of on the back burner because it's older and it's modern. And I could be a little bit biased, but I don't really care about what Ric Flair did. Not in a disrespectful way, right? Like, I'm being honest. Like, he did stuff back in the way back. And I feel like, and with time, people in it, and when you look at it all around the world, Bill Russell is one of the greatest people ever, one of the best champions, but we don't consider him the greatest, and he has 11 titles, right? It's like, even with no matter what sport you are and no matter how it is, Babe Ruth has been passed up. People don't even talk about him in the GOAT. And I just feel like Ric Flair is in that category. He's an icon. He's immortal. You know what he brought. You never forget him. But people have done better than him. People have done more with what they've been able to do. John Cena, and it's crazy because only guy who can possibly do it John Cena has done is maybe Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, I thought.
Reigns.
Yeah, Reigns, like, because when you look at it, Roman Reigns can bring.
I'll take that.
Reigns? What has Reigns hasn't done even close to what Cena has?
No, but I didn't say he did. I didn't say, did Shawn really leave?
I don't know. But we had Clayton Lanham said Rick was a workhorse and got screwed over by WWE. They could have done so much more with him. If it's GOATs, I will say Hogan. Hogan was Vince's that was his son at a time, Hogan. And just like Cena was, when if Vince likes you, he'll put everything behind you. With Hogan, and he has with Cena. So you could put Hogan in a top into the GOATs, but
I will not, because I couldn't put him in the GOATs because he left in the way he left. That's why I could not do it. I'm sorry.
Clayton also said Hogan changed the whole game. Yes, he did. He did change it from being like really superhero-y to a little bit less super. I mean, it was still eat your vitamins, say your prayers, but he changed it, but not he didn't make a complete impact and nothing crazy. He had kids taking vitamins, saying prayers, and everyone in the 80s knew him. That is very true. He did have kids taking vitamins and saying prayers, but outside of that and being he wasn't bad in the ring, but Hogan doesn't do anything for me personally. I just not a Hogan fan. And
Hogan doesn't do anything.
I don't like him neither.
Back to what I was about to say about my boy Roman Reigns before Sean left on me like that. Roman Reigns. First. I said the potential. I didn't say he was, but like, who do you see taking over the company brand? It's Roman. Like, and the only thing that right now he's out because of COVID, but Roman is the face. He can be the guy that you carry. Seth, I don't know what they got going on with his mission. Like, I love it.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I just don't like people. I just don't like people. My faith. I don't like people portraying themselves as God in the Messiah. That's why I can't get down with it. It rubs me the wrong way. I feel like I'm not gonna call it offensive because it's not real. But when you call yourself like the Messiah and you're the second, like I don't agree with that. That's why I can't get down with Seth.
Right. I can't see Roman as the face. For the simple fact,
you can't.
I cannot, because the simple fact is, we as fans in WWE are tired of Roman Reigns. The kids love him.
That's what's important. To be honest, nobody cares about your old ass. Let's be real. That's how they feel. Nobody cares about your old ass. That you're going to criticize the WWE because there's some. We need the kids who's going to spend money.
That is true. But the kids are not spending the money buying the tickets. We are. But
here's the thing.
Yeah, but if your son tells you right now, Dad, I want a fucking Roman Reigns shirt with the vest and everything, guess what your punk ass is going to do?
I'm gonna grit my teeth and buy it. And
exactly.
I might actually change his mind and be like, no, you need a Randy Orton shirt and buy him
and he's
that.
gonna be like, hey, Dad, I done coached your son up. I was like, hey. Anytime he says, no, you're going to get something else, say, Dad, I want both. And that's how it works. That's how you do it. You got to be like, oh, I really want both. But, hey, guys, great show. I love you guys. It's super awesome. I've been listening. I had to get in. I had to get in here real quick.
Absolutely.
Because John Cena's the GOAT. Randy Orton's top 3. 5. But I'll catch you guys. All right. I got to go pick up my glasses because I can't see.
All right, man.
All right.
Later. That was Court Dog, our owner.
Clayton also says Roman's mic skills are trash. He has to
up his in-ring skill.
Up his ring skill. Jeff Hardy in the ring with his mic skills stay the same.
He would be in there. He does need to up his ring skills, but he's a powerhouse. So he's like a Cena powerhouse.
He's not like Jeff.
Yeah, he's not like Jeff. He's a powerhouse. He's never gonna be like a high flyer or anything. So he's like a taker. John Cena, who only has like big type of.
I think Lane's saying with his mic skills that he should have mic skills like Jeff. Jeff actually does have mic skills.
I don't think he has that many. I don't think he has that.
I think it died down a lot. But if you look at his
just giving an example of making himself.
I mean, that would make him stick out. I mean, look at Dawkins. He's very agile for being a big dude.
Oh, he's very agile.
So that does make him stick out. So if big men did actually start taking more, maybe more agile stuff, and
I mean,
it happened.
The Big Show did it. The Big Show was doing a lot of agile stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like you have Brock Lesnar, who's just a monster, and
Brock Lesnar also used to do a shooting star press, and he could.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar's a special athlete, so
yeah,
that's all. Yeah.
All right. I feel like we went over this Randy Orton thing a little much. I actually
Yeah.
have something on my chest. I actually want to get off.
Yes,
Um,
please do, because I have the same feeling as you do, brother.
NXT, you will not get my view no more, and I'm very sorry. I am very hurt to say this. I will not be watching NXT. I was getting very excited for Cross versus Lee, but unfortunately, they want to take sides of a child. I don't want to say molester. He did not touch, but thinking it is enough for me not to like you.
He's a child predator. Let's put it out there.
He's a child predator, and the fact that you ruin a lot of people's career off of allegations, and you have genuine proof he has sent,
Text messages,
pictures, voicemails, voice messages. You have proof of this. I don't care if it wasn't under WWE contract or not. I don't care, because Hogan wasn't under WWE contract when he dropped the N-word, and you still banned him for a little bit of time.
Yeah, you X'd him out for years.
So, what is going to be the thing? Are you going to bring Austin Theory back? If you bring one, you have to bring them all. You cannot sit people on the side and say, well, it's Velveteen. I don't care. Velveteen was a big name for me.
He was money.
Guess what? He was money.
He was money.
This is what I think a lot of people aren't understanding and not getting. When that came out, he lost a lot of people. He lost a lot of fans. In NXT, you're going to lose a lot of fans if you don't kick them to the curb. My opinion, he shouldn't even wrestle.
There's guys in the back. There's wrestlers that are upset. There's producers. There's agents. Vince, your people are talking to you and saying he should not be there. And he shouldn't.
Your own people, backstage people are mad. This isn't fans. This isn't us being mad. This is people working for you, other companies. And honestly, if you don't take him off, what you're doing is helping AEW out.
Because here's the other thing too. Here's my other problem. If you went to a job and got the job, and then halfway through it found out, oh, we did a background check and you're a child predator, do you lose your job?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you get to come back?
Nope.
No. So you tell me how you let a child predator come back. And and like we said, this isn't allegations. There's proof, voicemails, everything right there. And you let him come back. Now, I'm going to say something that might be controversial, and I think this is why they let him back. But I think the race has something to play into a part of it.
I don't think it's so much race.
I mean, here's the thing: is if you really banded him, he could come back and be like, "You're doing this because I'm black." And times today, listen,
but it doesn't matter. It's not like he's working at McDonald's. This is a privately owned company, so they can't bring none of that BS that way. They could try.
I mean, he can go on social media. He can put them on. Oh, they're doing this because I'm black. They're doing and make noise. And WWE doesn't want noise.
Enzo made noise when he first left.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he took 6 months silence and then he made noise.
Noise.
Speaking, just of Enzo, you ruined his career. One of your biggest money makers at the time. He was bringing in millions in merch.
But I think it was more than just the allegations that got him.
There was some backstage heat.
There was backstage. I mean, the allegations is what sealed the deal, but he had a lot of backstage. He was kicked out of locker rooms and WWE tour buses, and he was going on his own promoting.
I heard
his
a
own
lot
shit.
of people. I heard a lot of people though didn't like him, and he
No,
didn't like a lot of people
because he ran his mouth way too much. He disrespected the business. He actually did. When you do wrong in the back and catch heat, you're disrespecting the business. From what I heard, he didn't give a lot of respect to the older guys who've been there for a while. Like Ricky Dragon, like guys who've been around, like Jamie Noble and all them, the agents, the producers who have wrestled, who are trying to give him tips and stuff like that. I heard he was like turning his back towards them, not really taking their advice, so I think that is what killed him the most. But then the allegation came out and they were like, all right, perfect. We have a reason. They just needed a reason to get rid of him.
I heard it. Yeah. I heard a lot of backstage heat was on him, but I just feel that if you're going to do that to somebody with an allegation, regardless of backstage heat or not, you have to do that with everybody else. Austin Theory, I can understand sidelining. There's no proof. There's no evidence. It's all he said, she said. Until something is final, keep him. But there is proof, evidence. I think Velveteen should be off. I should think Velveteen should not even be considered to wrestle in WWE for a while.
I think his contract should be cut. He shouldn't have a contract anymore. He can go find a different promotion to wrestle at.
I just don't see it ending well. Like I said, I know a lot of people on Twitter, on Facebook, on everything that are, feeling the same way me and Sean feel. Sean actually is going to continue to watch it because of Pat McAfee. But I know a lot of people that aren't. I know a lot of people that
the only reason I'm watching next week is Pat McAfee is supposed to come back and have a face-to-face with Adam Cole, which should be pretty entertaining. And I'm gonna watch TakeOver 30 just because I want to see Pat McAfee Adam Cole fight. I want to see the Keith Lee Karrion Kross. I could care less about Velveteen Dream. I don't care when that match comes on. I won't watch it. But once that programming is over, once NXT TakeOver 30 is over, I'm done watching until you get rid of Velveteen Dream. I'll go to AEW. I'll go and watch AEW.
And that's the thing, is you're putting heat on a brand that is competing at this moment. This isn't Raw and SmackDown that can take a loss of 10,000 viewers. This is NXT that's going against AEW, not this week, but in the future.
And
from NBA.
And speaking of what I just said about Pat McAfee, there is a video out there. He actually can wrestle.
I seen it. You shared it on Loudmouth Sports Group.
Yeah.
And I peeped it. He's not bad, and
he can move. He can move.
And that's what I like.
Yeah,
I like to see people respect the business and learn it before they come in and get thrown to the sharks.
And I think the fight with Adam Cole is going to be interesting. I would love to see it to where, in the beginning that Pat McAfee actually wrestles him and out wrestles him a bit. I would love to see that. Adam Cole coming in like hot, wanting a street fight, and Pat McAfee taking his time and like working him a little bit, working the wrestling gimmick. I wouldn't want to see Pat McAfee beat Adam Cole. I think that would just, unless you signed Adam Cole, unless you sign Pat McAfee and you go, all right, now we're gonna have this run of Pat McAfee, Adam Cole. But I would like to see just Pat McAfee take an L, Adam Cole, get the W. Or if you don't want Adam Cole to win, have them run down.
Mm-hmm. Have them win by disqualification.
Have McAfee
win by The
Right,
Undisputed Era coming in.
Right, exactly. I mean, I would like
Because you can't let Adam lose a wrestling match
no, you can't.
when he's going to be main roster soon.
You can't have him lose.
That would
That'd kill his character.
be. I just would not want to see that.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
So I'm gonna get into this week's recaps.
yes, recap for Raw wins and losses.
All right, we're gonna start with Raw. Well, at first for Raw, we did have a contract signing
Yes,
for Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins with Seth Rollins and Dominic. Took kendo shots like a champion. 30 of them, baby.
Listen,
30. He was tied to the ropes.
Yeah, here's my thing. Is that do you consider that a initiation or you consider it a hazing? I call it a hazing.
I think a little bit of both. I think because of his name, he didn't get the you have to come up and you have to build this ring and you have to set the chairs up and you have to do this. He didn't get that because of his name. So yeah, give him a little something. Like if
you watched, Buddy Murphy was actually like
whacking him.
No, I mean he pulled back. He was pulling back.
Seth didn't give a damn.
And Seth was like, "Come on, hit him." But he was pulling back like a little. Yeah. It wasn't like
at first though,
Murphy was uncomfortable. Yeah,
at first,
but then he became uncomfortable with it.
I think then he saw his back, and then he like after a while he like looked at his back and he was like, "Holy shit!" But that was amazing. Then we had Seth Rollins versus Humberto, and I believe Seth wins, and then they just end up attacking. Andrade versus Dawkins. Dawkins wins. Selena Vega, which was really nice to see her back in the ring. Versus Bianca Belair. Belair wins. VIP Lounge talking about Apollo. Then Apollo versus a hell of a match. Shelton wins though. Mickie James is back and she looks like she's on the hunt for the gold. Then we had Tozawa and the Ninjas versus Ricochet and Alexander and the Vikings. Vikings win. And the one ninja was Truth. So he got his 24/7 title back. And then we go to Liv versus Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce wins. Rob Claus wins first Raw Underground match. Asuka versus Bayley. Asuka wins and will face Banks at SummerSlam. And Ruiz makes his Underground debut. Taba Kota beats just whoever they put in his path. Then Shayna Baszler, man, on Underground.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, Jesus. She needs to be on Underground.
Shayna Baszler beat 3 people in one. Then we had Randy versus Kevin Owens. And then Randy wins, not bad match. But then he says, "Hey, Rick, stay in the ring." Punts him in the head, punts him. It goes black. He didn't actually probably even come close to Rick. No. Which is probably for Rick's safety, to be honest.
Yeah. Rick can't take a bump.
To be honest, from what I heard, is Rick wanted to do an RKO and Randy was completely against it. He said, "Rick, I'm not doing that to you. The most I could do is punt, but I'm not RKOing you."
Absolutely not. I mean, he's not.
But then that happened. So we're going to go on to AEW, which is Young Bucks versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, the Dark Order. But before match can even start, the rest of the Dark Order come out and attack, but the Young Bucks still win. MJF cuts his promo, and it was amazing. And then Mox's music hits. He said, "Go to the tunnel. And he comes up behind them and lays them out. And then we go to Scorpio Sky versus Cody Rhodes. I wanted to see him drop the title. It's finished. Drop it. Just don't.
Drop it.
Cody, we get it. Okay, you're all hurt that you couldn't have a run in WWE, or they didn't respect you. Whatever, dude. Get over it. You own a company now. Okay, you partially own a company. Stop making yourself the man. Because to be honest, it looks stupid.
Thank
You
you.
run the company and you're the man. Oh, good for you.
With his Denny menu.
Like, it's not okay. Like, if you're gonna run the company, run it. But if you're gonna wrestle, leave it to Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Like, stay out of it.
And here's the other thing. With his Denny menu.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
how about
Arn,
this? How about this? Ha 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 ha. Camera angle.
that was on Dark. That was terrible. I've seen it, and it is. See, yeah, you can blame the superstar. Yes, he should have been hitting him closer to the head, but at the same time, man, that is 1,000%.
You don't put that on the superstar. You put that on the camera.
The camera
man.
and producers, because that's Dark. So Dark is actually taped before and pre-taped. So you put that on there. You put that on there. That was terrible.
Somebody got fired.
But Rhodes won that one. And then Brody Lee comes in and says, and he kind of crosses thing and goes, TikTok, your time's up. And because the TNT championship. But it's just like, I feel like Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes have something against WWE. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously it's because they didn't use them correctly. But every chance them two get, they're taking as many shots as they can. And then we had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Hangman and Omega for the titles. Hangman wins.
And Omega.
Could you stop it? Okay, listen. Okay, Omega, turn. Okay, now, Jesus Christ. It's been 3 weeks. Are you going to be heel or not? Turn.
Yeah.
Then we had Tag Team Appreciation Night. Pretty nice. You know, you had the Arn and Telly.
Yep.
And Rock and Roll Express, I believe.
Rock and Roll Express, yeah.
And you had FTR and the Young Bucks. Kind of, you know, different eras of wrestling. And it is very true. And I think FTR showed that they're going to be a part. They're going to be right here. And I think FTR proved it by attacking the Rockers, not the Rockers, but they attacked them. And that was amazing. And
listen, I don't know if you've seen this, but the kid that's on Young Bloods, he tweeted a post and said, how about that landing really stuck well, like talking about his flip or whatever stuck well.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton retweeted back.
He said, "Say hello to Brody,
Cody, Gold Dust,
on and on."
Oh,
I said hi.
Randy is savage. He's savage on social media.
Yes, Randy is savage, and I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. I shared it on Loudmouth Sports Group. He went out and bought one of his figures and a Drew figure. RKO'd him, pinned them with the figures, and then put the toy belt on his shoulder.
It was charisma, right?
So then Hikaru versus Heather Monroe. Hikaru wins by submission. Actually, and I noticed Hikaru and Big E have the same submission. Actually, and I'm really liking that submission. Jericho versus Cassidy for the jacket of $7,000. Cassidy wins. I was very surprised. I kind of hope they end this now. I like Jericho and I really like Cassidy. As much as he kind of does make fun of wrestling fans, every chance he gets, he's funny, and you can't help but not like him in a way.
Okay,
But
so before you go on, because I'm going to let you finish out the show, man. I got some stuff that I got to take care of with my kid.
all right,
But before you go, I'm going to take a little shot here at some people. I'm going to take a shot at the NFL, take a shot at MLB, and a shot at NHL. Hey, guys, just so you know, take some notes. AEW is starting to have fans following guidelines. Every other row, 25% capacity, or whatever the capacity is. They're way in the back, but they have fans. And you know what the best part about wrestling is? Is through this whole pandemic, we never shut down. Just saying. Take it from us. Came close, but take it from us. I think we kind of know what we're doing here. I know we're not a sport in your eyes, but if AEW is starting to have fans, Vince McMahon's planning to have fans, I don't see why NBA, NHL, NFL, hockey can't have fans. So just a little shot there at you. But I'm gonna let Luch finish it all up because I got other stuff going on today. If you want to go over NXT, that's fine. I'm not too big on NXT. Don't care. So, but
I'm not doing that. We're going right to SmackDown.
right to SmackDown. So
Yeah.
we going to SmackDown right now?
Yeah, we're going to SmackDown right now.
All right, because
So,
I think I actually have to. Are you able to end this broadcast on your own?
I don't believe so.
Okay, then I guess I gotta.
Yeah,
I will go off. I'll go off, but I'll end it for you.
All right. So we had a SmackDown, and we had Big E versus Morrison. But during the match, Retribution comes out, beats them both up, and then they leave. A little backstage segment, and then we go to Sasha and Bayley bringing in the Triple Brand Battle Royal. That Asuka wins. She gets 2 matches at SummerSlam. This is going to be, in my opinion, I actually want to see it. I don't think that they'll let her win both. Maybe one, and I hope it's Bayley's, to be honest. Then we had Mandy Rose pretty much challenging Sonya Deville for hair for hair match at WrestleMania, which was, I can't wait to see it. Mandy's probably going to win, but we'll see. Sheamus versus Shorty G. Sheamus wins. AJ Styles comes out with Joseph Park. You guys don't know who that is. It's Abyss. And I marked out to see him on WWE TV. I was so excited. And as he's talking, Jeff comes out, challenges him for the title. And then he pretty much, beats up AJ, gets a hit on Joseph Parks, and then they leave. Then Grand Metalik versus Shinsuke. Metalik wins, actually. The response with the promo and says you're on. Like, it's going down. And pretty excited to see this, though. The Veil is actually really good, and I actually want to see what WWE does with her. Then we had Morrison versus Big E. As match goes on, Retribution wrecks the backstage area. But because the lights start flickering, the whole locker room comes out. And they're out to protect Big E and John Morrison. But then they get told that they're in the back, so they all run in the back. But damage is already done. And Bliss comes out, pretty much is like saying, like, why did you say you didn't care about me? All this other stuff. And he said, well, because you used me. She slaps the shit out of Braun, slaps the shit up multiple times. And then the Fiend comes out. And Braun picked her up. He was going to drop her. And he did toss her up, dropped her. And the Fiend came out. And when the Fiend arrived, Braun was out of the ring. And then he popped up on the big screen and started laughing. So they're actually doing this really well. What I like to see was when Braun threw her up, have it go black, And then when it comes back on, Braun would still be in the ring, but the Fiend would be holding Bliss as he, in a way, protected her from hitting the mat, puts her down, kind of touches her like, it's okay, you're safe from him, I'll protect you. And it would set up a good thing for Sister Bliss. That's what I would have liked to see. But yeah, guys, that's our show of Loudmouth Sports Talk. It's Luch. Sean already left, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, peace.